Awesome. All right. Welcome, everybody. Hope you had an excellent weekend. So we have a jam-packed session today. We're talking about internal marketing for the September campaigns. And we always love the internal marketing discussion. It's fun because we're going to talk about pattern interrupts and anchors, which are really important when it comes to creating that type of experience where people can walk away and remember you, which is the ultimate goal with any form of marketing, is that you stay on the mind of people even when they're not with you. But before we dive in, let's just go through some updates. Please make sure to select your campaigns by this upcoming Sunday. It's the August 17th. These are campaigns for October. Just so you know, when it comes to the new technology that we've spoken about now for the past few weeks, it is completely finished. Tested, everything is rocking, it is solid. What we're doing as we speak is just moving the content over so that as of September 1st, you will gain access to the full dashboard and all of the events and the ability to send your own emails, post your own events, blog. I mean, it's just an extremely powerful technology that we're super excited about. So the campaigns that you're selecting right now, they will actually be installed through the mechanism of auto deployment. We're actually going to use it for you guys for this first time around, and then you'll be able to go in and use it for yourself. We have training videos. It's really comprehensive and really exciting. So just stay on the lookout for this. We will be sending out emails the next few weeks talking about what this means and what this looks like and some of the information that we're going to need from you. Because remember, with this new technology, when you decide to do whatever campaign that you would like each month or campaigns, we are automatically going to be posting on your Facebook and your Twitter for you. So we need access to your Facebook and your Twitter so that we can then just get everything synced up in the back end, and then once it's synced up, it'll be good to go. So there's little things that we'll need from you guys so that we get you all updated for auto deployment, but it's going to get exciting. In addition to that, please make sure to submit your stories for Project Chiropractic. That's www.synpractic.com/Project Chiropractic. I think we're going to turn off the submission process either tomorrow or Wednesday. We have like 40 or 50, I think, at this point, stories. I mean, they're wonderful, but I just want to make sure we get all of the gems, and then we're going to narrow it down to 8 to 10, and then we'll start the interview process. So if you want to participate in Project Chiropractic, please make sure you visit www.synpractic.com/Project Chiropractic. In addition, I'm sure you've seen that we've posted some videos on the SynPractic page of chiropractors that are part of the tribe that wanted to share their experience. They were testimonial videos, and we did them together. If you want a video like that, where we do like a 5 to 7 minute testimonial, just shoot me an email. We'll schedule a time. The way that this will work is it'll be extremely beneficial for you. I know many of you are reaching out to your colleagues and attempting to get them to join. And this will be a chance where you can actually drive them to a page where you talk about your experience working with SynPractic and the benefits that you've seen and what you want them to know. And then from there, it'll show them an overview of what the opportunity actually looks like. So it'll make it a lot easier for people to join, and then obviously you benefit as a result because this is part of SynFire, and you get $250 cash for anyone who joins because of your efforts. So if you want to have one of those videos done, just shoot me an email, and we'll schedule a time to do a 5 to 7 minute recording, and we'll get a chance to chat for a few as well. Other than that, like I mentioned, the dashboard at this point, it's really finished. It's just us moving content to where it needs to be. We'll do one more round of testing, and then we're going to make it available to you guys as of September 1st. This is a big opportunity. I mean, there is no software platform in the world that does what this software does. We've actually been approached at this point by investors that are just like, this is sick. I mean, like, well, how can we get involved? And we're just like, nope, not interested. We're going to keep this thing going as it is for right now because it's a special experience. We don't want anybody to get in the way of that. So it is really powerful. And then in addition to that, for those of you that were on our wildcard SynMind, which was the last week of July, we talked about the power of expectation threads. So now all of those videos have been produced, and they are available for you guys. We're not charging anyone anything extra. This is our gift to you guys because our philosophy is reinvest profit and then create more value and then not charge for it. So we are going to be giving you these videos. That will also happen as of September 1st. We're just going to deploy this in one step as opposed to deploying things kind of like in different iterations, because that's just not a good way to do it with software. So as of September 1st, everything gets even better, and get excited for it. We are truly pumped up about this. This is really an effort from all of us. It's a very special experience, and it's because of you guys believing in us, and then it's because of us having this vision of what's possible that has truly made this something that all of you will benefit from. So thank you for that. Let's dive in. Dan, why don't you talk about some last-minute tips for the August campaigns? You're on, Dan, you're on mute right now.
Can you hear me? Am I good?
Yep.
Okay. So August campaigns, obviously you guys are in the thick of it. So since we're talking about internal marketing this week, I figured that we would give you some tips on internal marketing as they relate to August campaigns. If you guys really want to dive into it, just go back to the SynMind on this, because that's where we really go into depth with this concept. But what I want you guys to start thinking about is seeing people as more than just patients, and think about the fact that everyone has access to other individuals or groups who actually need you. So think about outside of that immediate circle that you're part of and that immediate tribe. If you guys are following the Kyra tribe videos, we talk a lot about the fact that you have your own tribe, and sometimes that tribe overlaps with some others. And see where those overlaps occur and how you can pull people from other circles into your community and communicate with them. So it's important to see the people in your own circle and in your office as a conduit to other communities and other audiences. So if you're able to connect with them and figure out, how can I make those how can I highlight those connections for them and highlight the importance of bringing more people into the office, as a result of that relationship in that patient. So start thinking about how those conversations will go, and think about who in your office is a chiropractic evangelist, which is what we always talk about. Who's going to be the person who is totally behind you 100% of the way, because those are the people who are going to be most likely to bring other people in and spread the message and get the word out about your office. So what I want you guys to do is quantify your intention and share it with everybody you communicate with, in the office, outside the office, in your personal life. I want you guys to set a mission. And this is all about internal communication, so make sure that you're communicating. Set a number of whoever, however many people you want to bring into the office for this month through this month's campaigns, for August campaigns, and just go out there and get it and talk to those chiropractic evangelists, go through those channels, find where those overlaps are with other communities, and start taking advantage of them.
Yeah, that's awesome, and it sounds so simple. It's like all of you are probably watching this, and those that will watch the replay are going to think to yourself, well, obviously, but are you doing it? Like, it's a really important thing to consider, because you have foot traffic. That's such a beautiful aspect of your business. You have such an advantage because you see 100 unique faces a week. Maybe you see 300 unique faces a week. Maybe you see 1,000 unique faces a week. But those are people that are in your environment, and it's time to really see those people more than just as patients, but also as a conduit for an even bigger impact. Like, you have an advantage over us because, like, as we try to grow our tribe, we don't have chiropractors just walking through our office and we're like, oh, by the way, like, have you signed up for SynPractic yet? Like, it's constantly we're putting ourselves out there to get in front of chiropractors so that they decide to join, whereas you already have that opportunity. They're already there. But then look at it as a conduit for even more opportunity. And this is going to tie into the discussion that we're going to have today around internal marketing for September campaigns. But since you're in the thick of August, implement this kind of stuff now, because there's so much that you can leverage that'll turn into even greater opportunities for you. Let's talk about some successes or even challenges from the past month. That's what this is about. We want everybody to have a chance to really open up and share what's working for them or what's not working, so that we can then all come around and benefit from the advice and also give advice if it's needed. So Emil, how's everything going with you, man? How the campaigns? I know you're just getting going with this, but any successes recently you want to share or challenges?
Everything's going real well so far. We've just started our first major campaign. We're about to do the delivered workshop in a week, and I have more people now registered online through our workshops than I've ever had show up at any of our workshops before. So just like that, this already seems to be a great success. So we're already seeing people come into the office from these campaigns, even though we haven't officially even started them yet. So
Cool,
yeah,
cool.
a big hit. Big
Your
hit.
energy is the reason, man. You have awesome energy. It's really fantastic. And just as a little thing that'll help, like right before the event, have staff just follow up with a phone call, just
Yeah.
express how excited they are to see them. Like those little touches, they really make a world of difference. And
Yeah.
just want to keep that. I'm sure you would do it anyway, but that's fantastic. And keep up that energy. That's so great to hear. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
a lot of people in the community sometimes struggle with getting online registrations as opposed to having people sign up in the office. So, Emil, what would you say is the most important thing that you did to get those online signups? And did you speak to people in the office and tell them to share it with their friends, or go home and sign up themselves and sign up their family? Like, what kind of strategies did you use?
We spoke to people in the office, but we've also been working on trying to develop relationships with midwives and doulas and other people in the area. So we've contacted them, and once we let them know about what was going on, they were excited about this process, and we were contacted by so many different people and so many natural pregnancy providers that that they were itching for this kind of workshop. So
Awesome.
it was almost it almost didn't require much work from us, but that initial contact.
You can still take credit though. But yeah, no, that's awesome. That's no, it is like this. That's the epitome of what this is about. Relationship-based marketing. I mean, this is like the pitching and catching of running a business. It's thinking about what exists, who has an influence, and who can you benefit, because you're bringing so much value. Like you're creating an event that didn't exist before. You have extremely high value when it comes to the actual marketing materials and the campaign, the messaging. So you're bringing so much value that for them it's like, yeah, I love to promote this. This is exactly what I want to share with my tribe. So
Yeah.
I love that you shared that. That's really fantastic. Good stuff, man. Awesome.
Thanks.
Dr. Willett, how's everything going with you?
Well, I'm still running, excuse me, still running into challenges with having people register and attend events. That's kind of in a general way. The last event I did was Pack for Your Back, and didn't have any registrants. Although there were people interested, didn't actually register or attend. So that's still been it's been kind of an ongoing challenge as we've gone along through the events here.
So what do you feel? Where do you think the gap is? Because you always get, that's the thing about you. You have this wonderful energy. Like people, like they're interested when you talk with them, but sometimes when it comes to actual getting them to show up, where do you think the gap is? If you had to like introspect on the spot and like what could be done better, what little thing could make a world of difference for you?
Well, if I knew that, I guess I would be, doing that at this point. That's kind of the challenge.
What have you done now up until this point? What do you think has been? Where have you put most of your energy in the campaigns themselves? Do you get people to sign up, or do you follow up with them via over the phone? What kinds of things do you do to either get people to sign up or hold them accountable?
Well, they don't. I'll talk to them during their visit. I've got the save the date cards. I had the posters up in the office. Also, I had some backpacks on hand, so I had a backpack filled with books out in the reception room as a means to show this is what we're talking about. So there was interest talking about it, but to actually make a commitment to actually do that, kind of to, I guess in a business word you'd say close the deal, so to speak.
I would hold them accountable by calling them, have your staff just call 5 to 10 people a day, random 5 to 10 people, preferably somebody that knows what's going on and that you've talked about. So maybe 5 to 10 people who came in that day and know what's going on with the campaign. So call them up and just remind them what's going on. Just reiterate the passion that you have for this project, for this campaign, and have them make a commitment and not give you their credit card number or anything like that. But next time you come in, please bring in some things or whatever you would like them to do. Just hold them accountable and remind them. Just as long as you're in front of them a lot and you kind of single them out and give them some extra attention, then they feel like they're really part of this process.
Yeah, that another thing too. I think that like with every chiropractor who's involved, and I think that with the new, like on September 1st, this is going to help immensely, is really know your audience when it comes to the campaigns that you're selecting. And I think sometimes what will happen is like there's a desire to have a particular audience, and I'm not saying this to you, Dr. Will, I'm just thinking in general, like where could there be a gap? But like, there might be a desire to have an audience, like I really want to see kids, but like right now, like I just don't have that kind of clinic. Like I see more people that are in their late 50s, early 60s. There's a little bit more of like a senior population that I'm working with. And if that's the case, then it's important to select campaigns that are going to speak to those people. It doesn't necessarily mean that you just ignore your vision of I want to see more kids. It just really comes down to the campaign selection process. But in addition, and this is an internal marketing strategy for everyone, the key to success as a small business, if I was one of you, like this is what I would do, is I would highlight, maybe it's one initially, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 5, of the people who I consider to be chiropractic evangelists. Those are the people who so believe in what I believe, because what I believe is an extension of who they are. And once I figured out who they were, I would let them know that they're an ambassador of the cause. They're part of your elite, whatever you want to call them, but let them know that they're special. And then these are people that should be treated specially. And what I would do if I was a chiropractor is either once a month or once a quarter, I would have a breakfast at my office, or I'd have a lunch, or I'd meet for a dinner, or just something where I only invite the elite. And we come together, we talk about vision. It would be like a brainstorming session, like a mastermind, like a war room, where we sit down and we dive into what is the vision of this clinic, what type of impact are we looking to have, and how can we enroll everyone in this room's support to make this happen. Because this vision is bigger than just a clinic. Like this vision is to impact the community in a measurable way. And the only way to make that happen is for everyone to come together, work together, synergize, and then get the message out there. So what can we do? And I would have these brainstorming sessions with my evangelist. I would do it once a month, but whatever makes the most sense for you, because they're going to feel like they're part of something. It's going to get them excited. People do like to refer. They do. Like it's something that feels good. Like if someone were to refer someone to your business and then they become part of your business and they benefit as a result, they feel special because they just helped change a life. And I would create an environment where my goal would be, if I start with 5 elite, if that's what you want to call them, every month I add an additional member to this group. That means that there's somebody that transitioned from just being a patient who gets it to a patient who believes in it with every fiber in their being. And that would be my goal, is I would cultivate at least one relationship with a practice member every month so that my group of 5 turns into 6, turns into 7, and as that grows, you become even more powerful. So now with an event, those are your salespeople who are going out there and they're thinking about, okay, these are 2 people that have to come. And they take it upon themselves, and now all of a sudden, every one of your events, you get 10 to 15 people to show up because you have your evangelists out there who believe in what you believe, and they're hustling based on the cause. So that the first step to this process is to think about who those people are. Like really think about, who are the people who believe in what I believe? And then from there, figure out what you want to call them, invite them to a breakfast, and gain crystal clarity on your vision so that you can communicate it with them. And I think this could be very helpful for you, Dr. Will, and for everybody. I think you brought up some good points, and I'm happy that you shared that. So thank you, as always, for opening up with your ideas, and let us know how that works for you. And I'd love to hear, and then we can even brainstorm this further in other sessions as well. So let's keep going so we can stay on track. Last week, we spoke about external marketing for the September campaigns, just to kind of recap what that means. One thing is we always talk about blitzing your community. The whole community needs to know what's going on. It's just that it's that important. It sounds like Dr. Tompkins did that. I mean, he blitzed the community because he leveraged existing relationships, and that's why he has more people that have signed up for this event than ever before, which is fantastic. Use all of the marketing resources. We don't just create marketing resources so that you have large zip files to download. Like everything we create is intentional. So use it all. I mean, use all the letters to other local businesses, use all of the print materials, like really get the message out there. One of the things that Dan always talks about, and this is going to sound repetitive, but it's important, is the envelope technique. We give you a letter that you can send to other businesses, and you can include your posters in the envelope, and you can start to develop a network of businesses who are supporting one another. And what it says in this letter is, here are some posters for you to share with your people, but send me some of your material as well, because I would love to get the message out for you. Think about it. All small businesses have the same desire. They want to serve the community. So why not find ways to work together and to leverage each other's network? In addition, try your best to always incorporate another business with your campaigns. If you can't do it every month, try to do it at least once a quarter or once every other month. If I was in practice, I would be doing this every month. I would choose a campaign where I could work with another business who has their own tribe, who is going to participate by being an expert and also by promoting it, because it gives you access to a much larger audience as a result. But ultimately, the key to success when it comes to external marketing is just do what others don't even think to do. Like, that's at the foundation of being a successful marketer, is whatever other people wouldn't even think to do because it's either too hard or it's just outside the scope of where their mind goes. That's the stuff that you should do. It makes you distinctively different. And like a really silly example that I used to share, but I would like to share because I think it ties all of this together, is I'm in this mastermind group with this guy named Joe Polish, and he started this group called the Genius Network Mastermind. It's a very high-level group of entrepreneurs. And when he first started this, because it's a very large investment to get into the group, he needed to find a way to access industry transformers, people who have really done amazing things within their career, and that would have the financial means and also the ability to contribute to a group like this. And he knew sending them an email wasn't the best way to connect with them, or sending them a direct mail, like that really wasn't going to do it. He needed to do something different. So what he did is he went out and he bought, I think it was like 100 or 150 coconuts. And then he put a sticker on the coconut that said, "Don't be a nut, join my group." And then he sent a direct mailer with an actual coconut. And if you think about this, it's very extreme. But that's like a logistical nightmare. Like, where are you buying that many coconuts? How are you getting something to stick on a coconut? And then how are you shipping a coconut in the mail? Like, it's a logistical nightmare. It's something that no one else would even think to do. But this guy is getting paid $25,000 a year by almost 200 businesses now. And that's just one of his revenue streams. So you can do the math. It obviously worked very well for him. But that's just an example of do what others don't even think to do. And that's going to tie into our conversation today about internal marketing. So just some reminders before we dive into the material. One of them is the J&G timeouts this week. It's on the 13th, Wednesday at 2 o'clock Eastern Time for your staff. The conference call is going to focus on what to do when you drop the ball. This is an interesting discussion because this will happen, right? Everybody's human. And there's going to be times where your staff make a mistake. How can they rebound from that mistake? And this is going to be some really good insight. And then Dan's hosting the Business Pros on Wednesday at 12 o'clock, backed by popular demand. He is going to be introducing how to get Twitter up and running, and this is a two-part series. So it's going to be 2 weeks of this, and it's going to be something that's fantastic for all of you guys to learn if you decide to really get more involved with Twitter. And he's cracked some serious codes on lead generation through Twitter, so he's going to share some of those insights. As always, if you have any questions for marketing or SynMind related, just email marketing@synduit.com. Website request, email pixelcorps@synduit.com. And always use the Facebook group. You guys are doing a great job with posting your questions and ideas and challenges, but use the group. It's there for you. Remember, the whole concept that we're trying to create here is that you're never on an island by yourself trying to change the world, but rather you have the support and the collaborative effort and the energy from everyone that can work with you to make this manifest. So with that, let's dive into our September campaigns and the internal strategies. Dan, do you want to do the universal marketing strategy?
Yeah. Let me do the universal ones. Yeah. So we talked about basically internal marketing across the board. These are all, for those of you who are watching and aren't aware, the universal marketing strategies can be applied to any campaign. And we add to it as we go and come up with new stuff, but this is stuff that you should always be implementing with every campaign. So when we go into the specific ones in a second, apply all of these to that in addition to what we mentioned for the individual campaigns. So the first internal marketing strategy is to basically decorate your office as much as you can, because that's a pattern interrupt. When people are walking into your office and it looks different from the last time that they walked in, there's stuff on the walls, there's stuff hanging from the ceiling, and there's stuff that they can interact with, then it brings up this curiosity in them. So this is something that you should do with every campaign, and we give you suggestions specifically in the blueprints and on the calls when we're going to be going specifically into them in a second. make sure that you're decorating your office. A good way to figure out how to decorate your office and the strategy to decorate your office is to walk into your office for the first time. And we've mentioned this before, but go into your office with your staff as if like it's the first time that you're walking in there. So make sure that you're aware of where your eyes go. That's where your posters should go. That's where your save the date cards should go. And think about the flow of people walking through the office. The next one is to use all of the including marketing resources. We talk about this all the time, but make sure that you're paying attention to the internal resources as much as the external ones. It's easy to send a letter, but it's not as easy to start giving people save the date cards and make sure that they take posters and give them to their friends. So that's something you need to be aware of. Hang up posters in the bathroom. That's always something that we say and something that I encourage because people are in the bathroom a lot, number one, and that's somewhere that they are by themselves and they're feeling private and they are if there's a poster they have time to actually look at it and read it and understand what it's all about. Next, empower your staff to get excited and motivated and involved with your actual campaign. So that means before the event itself, meaning that when they're talking about it with patients as they're walking in, they're aware of what's going on, the details, they're excited about it, they want to get people involved. You can even incentivize them and say, okay, if we get this many new patients, everybody gets to go home early on a certain day. So use those kinds of incentives to get your staff really motivated and excited about the events. Next up is pattern interrupts. We're going to be introducing some of those today, and if you have creative ideas around them, make sure that you use them because pattern interrupts are probably the most powerful thing that you can use in terms of an internal marketing strategy. That's when something really catches somebody's attention, like a dinner table in the middle of a waiting room for promoting a dinner workshop, something that they can really ask a question about, and that's something that we'll be talking a little bit more about in a second. Put the save the date cards in the mailings, stack them in the waiting room, put them in places that people can easily take them, put them in their back pocket, in their purse, where they're stopping and spending some time. So if they're signing in at the front desk, for example, put a stack right next to that. Make sure that you give people permission to bring guests. That's the next one. So a lot of times people feel like they're overstepping their boundaries if a friend asks to come to a workshop, and obviously that's exactly what you want. So you want to give people explicit permission to bring guests. So when you're inviting them, tell them that they're welcome to bring as many friends as they want, to direct their friends to the landing page, have them sign up there, call the office for more information. Make sure that there's an open, air of communication around this event and that anybody can really show up and come. The next one, and actually the last one, is to quantify your goals before the month even begins. So you want the entire team's support on this. You want everybody to be bought into the goals that you guys are setting, and you want it to be quantified. So if you say we're going to get 20 new patients this month, then that's what you should be ticking off on the wall, in the break room. If you want 50 patients this month, that's what you should be ticking off on the wall. You want it to be in front of everybody. You want there to be consistent communication. So at the end of every day, you say we've gotten this many new patients this month. We're going for 20, 50, whatever that number is. And that's what everybody should be aware of. It should be like the office goal. And incentivize people, just like you would incentivize your staff for the individual events. Incentivize them for new patients. So you say if we hit our goal of 50 new patients this month, then we all go on a staff retreat, or we're going out to dinner, or something like that. Something that could be fun for the office to get involved. It would build your culture, so you can kind of kill two birds with one stone there. But that's a really good, solid internal marketing initiative because it deals with the foundations and says to your staff, okay, this is what our goals are, this is what we're really going for, so how can we reach those goals and enhance the communication with patients and make sure that you guys are engaged and involved and excited about the events that we've got coming up. So in a firestorm of sentences, that's the universal marketing strategies for these campaigns.
Great, awesome, good job. And there's just amazing wisdom there, and that ties into everything. I just want to define what a pattern interrupt and an anchor is once again, so that anybody who's watching this for the first time, they get it. So this concept of a pattern interrupt, why is this so important? Well, people, when they enter your clinic, whenever that is, they're entering your clinic living out a rhythm called my everyday life. And my everyday life is sometimes not overly enjoyable. There's stress, there's I hate my career, there's I hate my spouse, there's I'm not really feeling well today. They're in a fog. And in order for you to have an experience that impacts them, that transforms them, you need to break that pattern. And we're going to share ideas that break the pattern, which create a conduit for communication. And the goal, once the pattern is broken, is that now they ask a question or you say something that they'll now remember. But what's going to allow them to remember it once they leave your clinic? Well, that's an anchor. That's some experience or something they take with them so that when they're not even with you, they're thinking about you because of what took place. So that's the benefit of having pattern interrupts and anchors. We're going to share some crazy ones right now with you. Some of them you might say, no way, no how. That doesn't work for me. And then I ask you to challenge yourself. Is that because it makes you uncomfortable? And if the answer is yes, then I'd say do it anyway. Or does it just not resonate with you? And then think of something else to replace that. And then share whatever you're going to do in the Facebook group. So the first one we're going to talk about is the 7 reasons why your kids need chiropractic care. So the pattern interrupt is going to be to decorate your office with kids. I mean, put up pictures everywhere of children that have been coming to your office for years. Put up pictures of yourself when you were a child. Put up pictures of your staff when they were children. Put up pictures of any type of kids that you can find. Just get kid pictures everywhere. When they walk in to your clinic, it should feel like they're entering a montage of children. I mean, they're just everywhere, these pictures. And then what happens is it breaks their pattern. And they're going to say, hey, Dr. Whalen, why are there so many pictures of kids up? And then you have the conduit for a conversation. And that's the goal of a pattern interrupt. Now the anchor, and this is just an idea, see what you think about this one, is go and get those bracelets, like this bracelet I have here, like the old Livestrong bracelets. And I think this would be great for you guys to have regardless. And on the bracelet, write, I love chiropractic on that bracelet. And then attach a save the date to this bracelet. And you can do this for any campaign. It doesn't just have to be for this one. But attach the save the date, and when you know that somebody has a child, then give them a few of those bracelets attached to the save the date. And when you give it to them, that's where you can have a conversation, a communication with them, where you let them know that your goal is that you're going to give this bracelet to them, who then is going to give it to the child, and because of what they're going to learn in this teleseminar, your child is now going to experience chiropractic the same way that they have, and that they're going to say, I love chiropractic, just like how this bracelet says. So why is that important? Because now they leave the office, they're not just going to throw it away, they put it on the counter, and then they see the bracelet, and it anchors the conversation that you just had with them, which is that you want their child to experience chiropractic care so they can love chiropractic the same way that they do. So that's an example of a pattern interrupt and an anchor for the 7 reasons why your kids need chiropractic care. Dan, you want to talk about the truth about flu shots?
Yeah, this is a cool one, actually. The truth about flu shots is going to, the pattern interrupt for this one is to put up danger signs all over the office, and if you really want to take it all the way, have your staff wear construction helmets and as they're walking around, so that when people walk up to them and ask them what's going on, they have like a really great, statement that you can say, because people would be like, why are you wearing the helmet? Why are there danger signs around? And they could come back and say, we're wearing these helmets because we want people to be aware of the danger of flu shots. We're having an amazing workshop, coming up in, XYZ, and you could give the pitch for the workshop there. And if your staff's totally aware of it, what's going on at the workshop, then this is something that they would be able to get involved with and totally get people excited about. So that's the pattern interrupt for the truth about flu shots. So have danger signs all around the office. It'll catch people's attention. It'll catch them off guard as they walk in. And have your staff wear construction helmets. You can get them at Party City or online for a couple bucks, and that'll be a fun way to get people's attention and get them involved with the event. The anchor is to actually get those the masks that people typically wear during flu season, the either to avoid breathing it in. And you can say something like, you can either wear this during flu season or learn a healthy way to stay fit, to stay healthy, throughout the year. So it gives them that choice, number one. So they're thinking about, you know, the benefits of coming to this workshop, because if they don't learn these healthy ways, then they're going to be at risk. They're going to have to do other things to compensate. So there's that, but also as they take it home, they put it in their purse or their pocket, then they see it later. That's the point of the anchor. You want to anchor a memory in their mind of that conversation in the office. And when they see it later, they're going to remember that conversation. They'll remember to go to the computer, sign up if they haven't already. So that's the anchor for the truth about the flu shot.
Yeah, and I like that anchor because like it's so ridiculous that people wear these masks thinking that's going to prevent the flu. So like when you give it to them, you can even like laugh, and like laughter is a great anchor because like they know like this is absurd. Like I'm not going to wear a mask and then it's going to prevent me from getting the flu. So I need to do something more than that, and it allows you to have that conversation. So I think it's really like, just an amazing anchor. The next campaign is the master controller. So a pattern interrupt for this one, which is kind of quirky, but this is fun, is go and use some old remote controllers, or just even if you have extra remote controllers, and put a remote controller on every chair in the waiting room. What that's going to do is open up a conduit for a conversation. And your practice members are going to ask your staff or you, like, why is there a remote control on every one of your chairs? And then the response is because that might be the controller for your television, but the master controller for your entire body is your central nervous system. And it gives you a conduit for a conversation. And then obviously the ability to invite them to your event. From there, what can you give them as an anchor? Well, if you go to Zazzle.com, that's Z-A-Z-Z-L-E.com, and you search chiropractic gifts, you can then go like under $5 gifts, and they have awesome stuff on there. I mean, I was just like playing around this weekend taking a look. Like there's some really cool stuff, from keychains that are like really fun to like stickers, like the Keep Calm and Get Adjusted stickers, which are awesome, and those are like 50 cents. It's like super, super cheap. And you can then give them one of those stickers and attach a save the date to it as well to just anchor that experience, because the Master Controller is the ultimate chiropractic education workshop, and this is a great way to break their pattern called My Everyday Life and then anchor their experience so that they remember the conversation they had when they were with you. All right, Dan, go for it with Doctored.
So the doctored movie screening, pretty cool one, pretty straightforward one though. For the pattern interrupt here is to have the not only the doctored trailer playing on a TV if you have a TV in your office, but hang the banner up and have it in a really conspicuous location in the office so that they don't miss it. So when they walk in and they see it playing, they immediately attribute the trailer that's playing to the banner. To obviously they'll ask about what's going on. So you want this to be an obvious event that's coming up. Now the anchor is going to be something that will actually increase your social presence as well. So you want to take a picture of them, and this will be in front of the banner, so it's in the background and your office is readily identifiable. But then you give them the picture and you ask them to go home and tag the office in the picture and say that they're going to the doctored movie screening. That is a perfect way to spread the awareness about this event, because you want this. We talked a lot about this. We really dove into the doctored movie screening last week with external initiatives. This is a great way to support it externally at the same time that you're getting people inside your office on board, because they're the ones in the picture. They're the ones sharing it in their close communities on Facebook, even on Twitter. So you want people to feel like they're part of this event. And taking a picture of them and having them share it on social media is a great way to do that. It's an amazing anchor. So that's the pattern interrupt for the screening, is having the banner and the trailer playing on the TV, and the anchor is having the picture taken of the patients as they come through the office with the banner and the TV in the background.
Awesome. That's great. And for everybody that's viewing, there's tons of people that are viewing today. I mean, that number keeps on increasing. So hopefully some of those people start brushing their hair and showing up for the live chat. But you can submit questions now if anything comes up, because we will spend some time answering questions. I see one so far. But if other questions show up, just please post them and we will answer them. So the next campaign is the Teachers Referral Month. Pattern interrupt for this one, this is a fun one, is decorate your office like a classroom, maybe even just one section of the office. Consider bringing in maybe like a desk as if someone was coming to a school, or even a chalkboard. Hang up school-related posters, which you can find on Amazon. I mean, they're so cheap, just like these simple school-related posters, because that's going to be like, whoa, what is that? Plus, obviously, the posters that we provide as well. Because what this will do is it will initiate a conversation. From there, the anchor is go and get some apples. I mean, you can get tons of apples during this time of year, and attach a save the date and a gift certificate to the apple, and then tell the person to give this to your teacher, which will then drive those people into your clinic. Because obviously apples are things of the teachers to just acknowledge them. And this would be a fun way to do it, and you attach your save the date to it so it's branded, and it will drive in some business for you. All right, Dan, why don't you do our final one, which is Chiropractic's birthday party.
Chiropractic's birthday party. So the simple pattern interrupt with this one is to decorate it like it's a Sweet 16's birthday party. And as far as you guys can decorate, because this is exactly what it sounds like. It's a birthday party, so you want to decorate it as such. Even have a piñata. You know, if you can fill it with healthy treats, have one hanging, or during the party, just have it hung at a tree outside, and that could be one of the events. So have people totally excited about this, and have streamers, party hats, all the kind of cool stuff that you can get at Party City and any other decoration store. So decorate your office as if it's a freaking Sweet 16 birthday party, over the top kind of stuff everywhere. What you want for the anchor is that everybody has to walk out of your office with a happy birthday party hat. So the hat on. So that's something that will, yes, it'll make them feel slightly ridiculous, but it'll have a biggest smile on their face when they're walking out of the door. And if there's a kid with them, then that's going to be even better, because the kid's really happy and they got something to walk off with. So make sure that everybody walks out with that party hat on. And as they go home, once again, that's going to be their reminder. And especially if their friends ask them, like, why do you have a party hat? By that point, it'll be like in their car or something, but they'll ask about it, and that's the point. That is what you want people to do when you have an anchor. So make sure that you have even save the date cards attached to them, any of the promotional material, and make sure that you include those and bold requests for attending the event and getting involved. So that's the anchor for Chiropractic's birthday party. And I think that's the last campaign, right, Jared?
Yeah, that's awesome. Great job. So yeah, these are some fun pattern interrupts and anchors. The most successful SynPractic clients are having pattern interrupts and anchors for every one of their campaigns. It's the way to break people's rhythm called their everyday life, and then to have you stay on their mind even when they're not with you. So we're going to go around, and we're going to take any questions first from the group that's willing to show their faces. I have 3 people that have submitted questions that have been sent my way. So Dr. Tompkins, any questions from you? You're on mute right now if you want to talk, by the way. And we'll keep going. Dr. Whelan, anything from you?
This is looking at the current month's campaign and getting it together.
Sure.
What would be an idea of decorating the office as like a pattern interrupt? I don't remember.
Forget it together, the teleseminar?
Yeah, forget it together, teleseminar. Yeah,
we'll send you what we said. We'll go back and see, but we'll send you what we put together for that month. But if I recall, I think it was. Let me see if I can just.
I believe it was a button or a sticker that you had printed and made, and then people wore it it said "Get it together" or something like that. But we can send you the full video of that.
Yeah, let me see here. I actually just found it, so this might be other people's questions too. So let's see. No, this is not the right one. Well, we'll find it and we'll post it on Facebook. So if anybody has the same question, then it'll be on Facebook. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
Cool. Mike V?
We're doing Get It Together, and one of the things we were going to do is put up a bother board, like a blank whiteboard, where people could write like their complaints down and like
that's awesome.
On their mind or what their struggles are. And we haven't done it, but we're going to use a mirror and have people have like either a T-shirt or a poster hanging over the mirror, so that when people look in the mirror, they see that over them, and just reminds them to get it together.
That's great. That's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, here we have pattern interrupt. I found it. Hang up complaints around the office that people often say to themselves. Have people go over to the complaint and put a mark if this is something that they resonate with. And then the anchor is to get stickers printed and stick a sticker on their shirt that says "Get it together" with the date and time, and tell them we are branding you with this sticker because it is time that you get it together and take your life to the next level. So that's what we put in.
And the posters themselves, if I remember correctly, when I saw them, they're pretty eye-catching. So use those as well because they'll catch people off guard.
Cool.
Great, thanks.
Do you have any other questions, Mike V?
Nope, doing good.
Cool. Dr. Steve, I know this is your first call, so welcome, my friend. Do you have any questions or just listening in? You're on mute if you're trying to speak, and as you get off, there you go.
There we go. Just listening in. It was great.
Cool. Awesome, man. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you. So cool. Other questions? So these are good questions that were sent our way. So one of them is, when is the right time to tell a practice member our quantified goal? Great question. So we talk all about the importance of really quantifying your goal, like quantifying your intention for the month. And that has to do not just with I want to change 30 lives this month, but I want to have 25 people on my Get It Together teleseminar. I want to have 30 people come to my Pack Your Back workshop. Like it comes down to anything that you're trying to achieve. You need to quantify it. So then when's the right time is right after you quantify it and then throughout the entire month. Because that's when it's fresh. And if the question is more precisely of like where in the conversation do you, well, we always talk about the importance of engaging people on an emolectual level. And if you don't know what we mean by that, just go to synpractic.com/emolectual. There's like a 30-minute training video and a special report that you can download that will dive directly into what that means. But like where in the actual experience I would do it, if I was you, like once they get on the table, I would say, yeah, I'm sure that you saw our office is decorated this month. We're doing an amazing program this month. It's Chiropractic's birthday, and we're celebrating the birthday because his Chiropractic's birthday has made everything possible. And my vision this month is we want to change 30 lives. And I would just love to know, who do you know whose life needs to be changed? And that's how I would bring it up. I mean, very casually, but very direct at the same time. And I would do that throughout the entire month with everybody that comes into our clinic. And if it's the second time, be like, I know I told you this before, but I'm just so excited because we're seeing such amazing momentum this month, but we are driven to change 30 lives. Whose life do you know that we can change? And that's just an example. But when is the right time is every time that you're with them, finding a way to incorporate this naturally into the conversation. Another question that was brought up is, what is the best way to ask for a referral? Because everything that I've tried does not work. Mike V, what did you do? Because you had a great month with the referral campaign for July. How do you go about asking for a referral?
We really didn't directly ask. We just, we always have a lead sheet going of people that, on our progress evaluations, we always ask people, who are 3 people that you like to follow in your healthy footsteps, or 3 people you like to see achieve the same result as you. So they write those down, and so we keep track of leads that way. And then, just through our articles of the day or conversations that we've had, or posting our success stories, they generate conversations. And so, it's just that kind of question, who do you know who? And we try to capture as many names as possible. And then we just use the coupon and the specials, and we didn't really do a hard sell in terms of really saying like get this person in the door, but just by having the conversations, it got people thinking.
That's great. Yeah, I agree. I think that's fantastic. This is the motivation of Project Chiropractic that you have all been exposed to now. There's just no better way for this profession to move forward than to have lay people sharing their stories of transformation. So that's why we're going to do this in a massive way for all of you and touch millions of lives in the process. But I love what you just shared. The other best way is it goes down to quantifying how many lives you're looking to change, and then telling people this is the number of lives that we're going to change during the month of August. Who do you know whose life needs to be changed? Because we need to get them in here. How can we work together to make that happen? And that's very casual. That's not like, oh, refer new business to me. It comes down to you want to change X number of lives, and who does this person know whose life needs to be changed, and how together can we make that happen? because when now you're not giving them work to do, but you're willing to do the work with them, and they might say, you know something, I'm going to call them right now, like, or I'm going to see them tonight for dinner, and I'm going to tell them to connect with your office. Just tell your office to be ready for it, and that type of thing. So that would be the best way, I would say. And then I love what Mike shared with having the stories of success. Like, that just opens up a conduit for conversation. The last question that was sent my way is I find my staff is forgetful when it comes to engaging our practice members and only doing it part of the time. What can I do? Well, one thing is, how involved are they with the process? Are you just delegating work to them, like just saying, okay, talk about this, or are they sitting down in meetings with you and talking about the vision for the campaign? Are they quantifying the goals with you? Are they picking the campaigns with you? Are they tuning into the J&G timeouts, or at least watching the recordings? Are they watching the recordings of the SynMinds? Are they watching the business pros? Like, how involved are they? Because I would have to imagine if they're really involved, they're not going to be forgetful when it comes to the consistency of communication. But then in addition to that, I challenge you, whoever, I don't know who submitted this, but all of you who find that this is a challenge, are you consistent with the conversation? Because as a leader, you need to lead by example. And there's a chance that maybe you're handpicking who you're speaking with versus just telling everyone. And if that's the case, then it looks like you're giving the permission to your staff to do the same. So the best way to have your staff to not be forgetful is to get them plugged in. If they're not part of our distribution list yet, go to synpractic.com/staff and just fill out the form on their behalf, because then they'll become part of the distribution list. Get them involved with the Facebook group, because it's an amazing community. We have like 3 times the number of offices that are actually in the groups. We're pounding everybody to get involved because there's such benefits to being involved. But get your staff involved. It's extremely powerful. And then lead by example. If you don't want them to forget, then it's time that you don't forget. And I'm not calling out anyone here. I'm just saying it's a good reminder every now and then to recognize that sometimes the habits that people that look up to us have gained are because we are not the ones that are portraying the ideal habit. So great questions all around. Thank you, everybody, for that. If you have additional questions, obviously you know where to send them to. So next week, we are going to talk about communications for the September campaigns. We're going to create an empathy map for the September campaigns and go through each of them, which is something that all of you have expressed major interest in, so we're happy that you enjoy that. Shout out to so many of you for Facebook. I mean, this was an awesome week. Emil Tompkins, Dr. Rothman, Jeff Groskoff, John Schroeder, Matthew Schmurl, Khalid Mankale, Mike Doty, Steve Bordage, Karen Jaff, Nick Weigel, all of you guys. I mean, like, the list, there's a huge list here. It's like I'm reading everybody's name. But really great job in the Facebook community. Send your questions to marketing@synduit.com if it's marketing or SynMind related, or if it's website related, send an email to pixelcorps@synduit.com. Just reminders. Project Chiropractic. Please take this seriously. It's a big opportunity. Go to synpractic.com/project chiropractic. We have a ton of stories, but I really want the best stories. And I anticipate that once we actually make our selections, that some of these lay people are probably not going to be interested in doing a recording, so we need to have backups. And I don't want to have to go to the profession to get stories. I really want to keep this something that's just within our family. So please take that opportunity seriously. If you want to record a short video interview with me, 5 to 7 minutes long for a video testimonial, just email me. We'll set that up. We'll have some time to chat as well. And please make sure that you pick your campaigns by this Sunday for the October campaigns, so that we have everything that's set and in queue for you. And I want to show you the quote of the week. I really like this quote. So one second. Let me just show you the image. All right. So you can just click on me so you can see it. Today is a new day. Even if you were wrong yesterday, you can get it right today. Dwight Howard. And I don't think that was the basketball player. I'm not sure who Dwight Howard is. But I love this quote. And the reason I love this quote is that as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, there is such beauty in failure. There's such beauty in challenge. And what often happens is that, and I've seen this happen a lot within the small business community, is that when something doesn't work, it's like, we throw up our arms and we say, nothing works, oh my gosh, I'm a victim to the situation, I don't understand. And what is so important to recognize, this is the reason why Synduit exists today. It's the reason why Synduit's going to become an enormously impactful company in the small business community, is that we'd never allow yesterday to impact today and tomorrow. We let it go because we recognize that whatever took place yesterday is a learning experience for the rest of our lives while growing this incredible organization. And I encourage you guys to do the same. Today is a new day. Even if you were wrong yesterday, you can get it right today. It's the power of innovating and iterating. With that, thank you everybody for your time. Hope you have a rockin' week. Go out there and just make an enormous difference like you always do, and we will connect next week. Thanks everybody.
See you guys.